Good morning, everybody. Sorry I'm a few minutes late, but it's Pam here with my Monday morning motivation. Happy Easter to you all. It was a great weekend. The girls and we kind of went and seen my side of the family because we never get to. I don't want to say never get to see them, but the last time I saw some of the people in my family was almost 2 years ago. I was pregnant with my littlest one, and she will be 2 in August. So it was definitely time. So cheers to a Monday morning, a beautiful Monday morning here in northern Alberta. It was a little bit overcast this morning, but the clouds seem to be breaking up, and it's going to be a gorgeous day. I'm excited to take the girls outside and just chase chickens and whatnot. Whatever you can do outside on a Monday morning or whatever. Right now they're just kind of hanging out. They both just woke up. I went up, like most of my family lives up by Fort St. John, BC. So on Saturday we drove up to Fort St. John and saw my dad and my stepmom and a couple of my sisters and a niece and a nephew, and we just hung out. And it was my dad harnessed up his pony team. He's got a pony team that works pretty good, so we drove them up and down the highway a little bit. The kids had a ride. My oldest got to sit in the front seat with Paca, so she was super excited about that. And then my stepmom did it's like a hunt, but instead of like a bunch of little eggs hidden wherever, she had like one treat for each kid, and then she tied yarn around it, and then she kind of let it all over the yard so that the kid would have to, like, all the kids had a starting point of the picnic table in the front yard or something, and they all had to follow their yarn string or like coil it up as they went, and then they found their treat. So I had to help my youngest because she's a year and a half and she's not quite understanding this whole like hunting thing, but so I helped her. She just kind of grabbed the yarn and like ran. I'm like, no, you gotta follow it. So I was like coiling it up behind her, and we end up at this tree with really low boughs, like a pine tree, it was a pine tree. And I'm like, there's your treat. I'm pointing at it. I'm like, there's your treat. Go get it. And she's like, no, mommy, get it. I'm like, so I had to crawl underneath this tree to get her treat. Otherwise she wouldn't have gone and get it. But she didn't understand what it was, I think, because it was a game and then a treat, which she really liked at the end of it after I went and got it, of course, because all kids love treats. So yeah, and then we had dinner, and it was great. And then yesterday we spent the night up there, and then yesterday we went out even further north. I don't know if anybody knows the area or not, but we went even further north to my mom's side of the family, and those are the ones I hadn't seen in forever. I hadn't seen, my grandma in almost 2 years. I hadn't seen most of my aunts and uncles, some of them for even longer because they don't live there. So and they happened to be there, which was so great. So we went there and hung out with them and had lunch. And of course their food is amazing. And for most of you that have been following me for a little bit, you know that I'm part of the bariatric clinic here in Alberta. So my dietitian there, plus I've been working with a holistic nutritionist. They've been kind of conflicting against each other a little bit. So I've been working with Karen. Her name is Karen Ritchie, and she has, I think it's called the Holistic Heart Nutrition. Definitely look her up. She's amazing. So I've been working with the both of them, but the bariatric clinic has me on, a certain plan and this much protein per day and this much carbs per day or whatever. And Karen's like, you know what? Let's play with your numbers a little bit. Like, this is what I think you should have, so this is what I've been doing. And but yesterday's a holiday, and I haven't had the kind of food that my mom's side of the family makes in forever. So of course I didn't indulge like crazy, but there's chocolate everywhere. Like when you go to that side of the family on a holiday like Easter or Christmas or something, there is chocolate everywhere. Like, they are the sweet tooth kings and queens of the area. So, but I had, a little bit. I didn't go too crazy. I had a bite of my one daughter's chocolate bar. She had a little chocolate bar, and then I had a few eggs here and there, and a little tiny bite of something else. And like, it not too crazy though. Like, everybody's got these big bunnies and they're just mowing down on them. I'm like, I'm good, thanks. I'll have a little bit of my kids' stuff, because my kids are young. They don't need to have a ton of chocolate, like these big bunnies that they're getting them and stuff. So anyway, so Easter was lots of fun, a little bit of indulging, and so lots of family time, which is what it's all about for me. I love to hang out with my family, and we didn't quite make it back to see my in-laws for dinner, but we see them all the time. So to me, I was like, well, I'd rather spend an extra hour with my family that I haven't seen in 2 years than, bust my butt to make it back for dinner. So we did that, and yeah, today is just kind of a veg out day. The kids are still in their jammies because there's no school, so we're just kind of hanging out. But I wanted to give a shout out to all of you that have been watching my Monday morning go lives. I've been thinking of changing the time from 9 Mountain Standard Time to 10 Mountain Standard Time. If that's something that maybe would get more people to watch, I'm not sure, but I would feel less rushed, I think, in the morning on Monday mornings, especially on days that I have to drive my oldest to school. I would feel a little bit less rushed, like try and get back and, get my thoughts organized to do this go live, because I don't want to just wing it with you guys. I want to provide true value. So I think, that's what I'm going to start doing, is start doing them at 10 instead of 9 Mountain Standard Time each Monday starting next week. So I will put out the warning and tell you guys. Sorry I didn't post yesterday about it to give you guys the warning, because I was busy. And we woke up in the morning yesterday, and between the Easter Bunny coming and then my phone, I forgot my phone charger in the truck, so my phone was pretty much dead in the morning by the time I got up, and I didn't want to go out to the truck and get it, so I didn't really play on my phone much. We just hung out, the girls and I took a couple pictures, and that's pretty much what killed my phone. So that's why I didn't post, and we were busy. Like, I was driving out to my family, and then we hung out with the family, and I don't want to be on my phone while we're out there, right? And then driving back, and then by the time we got back, it was time to put kids to bed and stuff, and I'm like, you know what? I don't need to post today. It's family day. I don't need to post today. So I hope you all got a chance to hang out with your family over the weekend, have some great food, or just like good conversation, because to me, that's soul food, right? Just to have the good conversations, to see the people that you haven't seen in a long time, and just sit back and appreciate them. That's what I did. I was sitting in the corner of the living room after we had lunch and everybody cleaned up, and then we went outside and Easter egg hunt in the hay bales, and we played outside for a little bit, and then came in, and I just kind of like sitting in the living room with all my aunts and my grandma, and I'm like, I miss this. I don't get it very often, so I surely appreciated and grateful for the few hours that I got to spend with them yesterday. So it was pretty great. Anyway, 5 hours later, today I want to talk about fear. And fear is what holds probably about 97% of the population back from chasing their dreams or just changing. They're afraid of the change. They're afraid of being vulnerable. They're afraid of fill in the blank. What are you afraid of? For a while, I was super, super afraid of being vulnerable, of exposing myself in that way. Like, this is the struggles I'm going through. But I didn't want people to know about my struggles, right? Like, we don't want to, most of the people that post on Facebook don't want you to know about their struggles. They just want you to see the highlight reel of their life. And that's not fair, because then you are trying to keep up to that. You're comparing yourself to all of their highlight reels, when in fact they have struggles too, or they have bad days too. Everybody has bad days. Everybody has struggles, but we're afraid to bare our souls and tell you about them because of whatever. Like, we're afraid people will judge us. More often than not, it's of judgment. So what's the one thing that you fear doing that you think, especially for the entrepreneurs out there, the fellow affiliate marketers, that you're afraid of doing that could just push your business a little bit further, that would get you those extra 10 clients a month, or whatever it is that you're seeking to make your business better? What is what is that fear? I know lots of people in my industry fear this exact thing that I'm doing right now, doing a go live, being completely raw and vulnerable. It's worse than reality TV because it does not get edited. This is me. This is my face, no makeup, my hair in the hot mess mom bun. This is me. This is my life, and this is why I choose to do my go lives like this, because I'm just like, okay, doing it, and I have it scheduled now. I've told you guys, I'm like, this is what I'm doing, and if I'm not here, then you guys can hold me accountable to it. But lots of people in my industry are afraid of doing go lives because they're afraid that they're going to stutter. They're afraid they're going to mess up their words a little. This is unscripted. This is me, like, but this is what people relate to, is you being vulnerable and you being real and authentic. This is how life is. Life isn't always rainbows and unicorns, even though I posted in my story earlier today, always have unicorn vibes, but it's not always rainbows and unicorns. So sometimes you have to just buckle down and get it done. But fear is not reality. It's an illusion. Fear, I know most people have said this, is F everything and run. No. Fear is false evidence appearing real. So it's only in your head that you think it's real, that the fear is real. In reality, the fear is not real. It's just what you tell yourself. And the danger is real. Fear is not. And I think Will Smith said that. I'm not sure. Anyway, so you only fear the fear. You fear the fear. You don't fear the dangers necessarily. You fear the fear of something. Like, I have the worst fear of falling from heights. I don't do heights generally, but I will do it if I really have to. When we were building our house, like, our house is super tall. Like, it's 24 feet from the floor of our house up to that ridgepole. And 24 feet? That's a pretty good height. So when we were building our house, when we were building like the loft, and this was all scaffolding. So we're like, it was like a jungle gym, an adult jungle gym in here, like all scaffolding and boards and plywood, and it scared the living crap out of me, but it had to get done. It had to get built. And my husband, he doesn't care. He's like, yeah, whatever. He's like walking on the top logs, and I'm just standing on the floor going, oh my God, don't fall. And if you do, fall in, because it's a shorter distance than to fall out, because we had the basement dug, so it's even further down. But fear is an illusion that you make up. And it's funny because when people that, like me, that are afraid of falling, they go like skydiving or something, your heart rate will go crazy with the fear, like as you're going up in the plane, as you reach the level that you're going to jump at, as you put on your parachute, the door is opening. But as soon as you are out that door and falling, and then the parachute opens, there's no fear anymore. It's the anticipation of the danger that drives your fear. So I was going to actually do like a value video on this, but I feel like this information is so like applicable to everybody in their everyday life. Everybody has some sort of fear. I know my one kid is afraid of spiders. And I'm like, spiders aren't a big deal, especially up here. We don't get big tarantulas. We get, little spiders, and I just go over, smack it. Anything in my house, any insect in my house, spider, fly, anything in my house gets dead. I'm sorry. That's just the way I am. But outside, I don't care. I leave them alone. So if fear is not real and the product is the thoughts that you create, then how do you fix that fear? What if you shift your focus from the fear of doing the thing to the outcome of the task? So me being vulnerable and telling you guys about, my life and how, struggles that I have sometimes and stuff, it's not fearful to me that I am doing this go live, but for some people it is. So what if you squelch that fear of go lives to the outcome of more people relating to you? Say, well, I need to do this go live because then I will get more followers or whatever, more people will relate to me. I'll be a more relatable person, and then thus my business will take off. You can associate the task that you're afraid of to the outcome as opposed to the fear, then you can get somewhere. Turn fear into fun. So the key to success is massive failure. All of the failures lined up together creates success, right? So learn to turn your failures into fun instead of fearing failure, right? So what if you're like, okay, well, I'm going to try to do a go live a day, and then you like stumble and mess up your words, and you know what? It's funny. Like, have fun with it. Be silly. Like, it doesn't matter because people relate to you as a person. I've learned so much and how that I have to fail at things to get better. This is why I've created this new page, because my last page, they won't let me change my name anymore, stuff like that. And as I started as New Beginnings Marketing, now I've kind of gradually, I'm not really into, like, I do some marketing still, but I'm more into like a coaching side of things, like helping people achieve their own dreams. I will achieve mine, right? So in order to step up and just step into myself, I've created my new page in this name so that I can just be more myself than New Beginnings Marketing, which I still like the name. I'm not sure I'm going to keep it, but I have a couple other ideas. We'll see. And one other hack to face your fears is to habituate yourself to the fear. So facing it repeatedly. So for me would be, we have scaffolding up outside our house right now to finish the outside of the house. So up on the big parts to finish the outside. So if I wanted to face my fears of falling, of heights, then I could be up and down that scaffolding. Like, I would be up there and I'd just stand there, facing my fear, but just facing it repeatedly gets you used to it, and then you don't see it as danger so much because you're seeing it repeatedly. So one other hack to facing your fears. So for all of you, I know Melissa jumped on for a little bit. Thank you, Melissa, for watching a little bit live. For those of you that are catching the replay, just type in replay and what is your fear? Like, do you fear heights like I do? Do you fear doing go lives? What is it that you fear? I know lots of people fear traveling by themselves. Personally, I love it because it gives me a chance to get away for a little bit. But I used to fear going somewhere, like flying somewhere, especially on my own. And now I've been I went to Vegas once. Hey, Tina, thanks for popping on. I'm just kind of wrapping up, but I've got some really good key points earlier on in my Go Live, so definitely watch the replay. Lots of people fear going somewhere by themselves. Last year I went to Toronto by myself, all the way across from Alberta to Toronto, and I had people like our affiliate marketing world. We're fairly, you kind of know people just by like seeing them online, chatting with them a little bit here and there. And so to go to Toronto to like an event with 400 of these affiliates, just like you, in the same business, in the same position generally as you, and you just walk into this convention center and you're like, there's 400 other people here, like, holy moly. And for the first day, I kind of wasted my first day. I kind of stood with some people that I knew a little bit better. Like I knew them from like a local lab mastermind, or I knew them from like if they're my personal people that have brought me on board. Then I'm just like, I kind of stood there and I didn't really expose myself too much to too many other people. But the next day I'm like, what am I doing? Like I can meet so many awesome new people, meet them for the first time, even though I've seen them on Go Lives, I've supported their pages, I've seen them on Zoom meetings, just I've seen them, but you don't meet them in person until you go to these events and you're just like, hey, I'm Pam. And they're like, hey, Pam. And everybody's hugging, and because that's just who it is. So I'm going to be doing the same thing, going to Vegas this weekend for the same people. It'll be a smaller group. I think they only had like a couple hundred tickets to sell. So it'll be a smaller group, but I'm staying in this like Vegas mansion with like 40 people that I only know a couple of them. I've only met a couple of them once, and I've seen one lady online once, and I was just like, everybody else I don't really know. So I'm pretty excited to get in there, but lots of people would fear that. They're like fearing meeting these strangers for the first time, and I'm just like, you know what? Bring it on. When I moved to Calgary when I was 20, and I moved from like, having horses in my backyard and living out of town, small town, and I moved to Calgary, and it was probably the scariest thing I've ever done in my life. And I moved there at the very beginning of September, right before school started, because I went to college there. And I went around, it was raining, and I went around splashing in puddles, because that's just the kind of person that I am. I like going splashing in puddles. People were looking at me so weird. But it was my comfort. It was something that I knew to do, even though it was in the middle of this huge city, like concrete everywhere. I'm like, where are the trees? I miss trees. I moved from like nowhere to Calgary, downtown Calgary, and I'm just like, it was the scariest thing I've ever done in my life. And to me, if I can do something like that, I could do anything. So that's why for me doing these Go Lives is pretty easy, because I like conversing with my audience and I love talking to you guys live. So like I said, I really want to start doing these at 10 instead of 9 Mountain Standard Time on Mondays, just so that I can collect my thoughts and make sure that you guys get the best value from my page. So like I said, if you're watching the replay, type in replay and tell me your fear, your false evidence appearing real. All right. Thank you so much for Melissa and Tina and Natasha for jumping on live here and there. I love and appreciate you guys. And yeah, I will see you guys next week for your Monday morning motivation at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Thank you so much. I love and appreciate you all. Have a great day and week. I will see you next week. Bye.